Hello everybody, welcome to another watercolor tutorial. We are painting another Valentine's Day themed painting. So I'm grabbing my mop brush here and covering my entire piece of paper with a layer of water, and there seems to be like a yellow tinge on my brush. So I'm gonna try, oopsie daisy. I wanted to pick up some pink or red, but I don't know what I picked up there. I just want to see where I'm painting the water. So you can just pick up like a very light pink, since this is a Valentine's Day card, or you can just a Valentine's Day painting. But if you're gonna pick up a color, pick up like a very light pink. So what happens when I cover this with water entirely is it goes on to the back side. So I can totally see why people tape the borders of their piece of paper, but I just cannot be bothered to do that. That is extra work. That is clearly very helpful because I'm struggling right now. Okay. Once your water is evenly spread out and there's no pooling anywhere, you can pick up some pink watercolor. Any pink will do. And just imagine that we're painting a branch down here. Like this is what we're gonna do later, is paint a brown branch just coming, like a twiggy branch. And there's gonna be these really adorable little heart ornaments coming off of it. So I want you to plop the pink where you think that your little hearts are going to be off of the ends of the branch. Sort of like that. If you want to be extra fun and daring, you can add a pop of red in there as well, and let that do its thing. Whoops, that was unintentional, but whatever. I'm even gonna just tap my brush because it's very wet, and splatter some splatters on. And we are just going to let this spread out and completely dry, and that is super important before we move on to the next step. So once your piece of paper is completely dry, and that is so important, otherwise you're gonna ruin this beautiful, mellowed out, faded out color background that you created, we're gonna take a pencil, and by the way, this is just a regular pencil. A lot of people think it's some fancy special watercolor pencil, but it's not. It's black because I got it from Liechtenstein when I was in Europe, and it just happens to be black, but it's a regular pencil. So yes, we're gonna just sketch on with our pencil a branch. So this is very similar to the branch ornament thing that I painted around Christmas for a Christmas card, but we're doing it with hearts. And in that one it was a pine branch that was coming out, but we're not gonna have pines because I don't want it to look very Christmassy. I want it to look a lot more Valentine's Day-y. So this is just going to be a deciduous branch rather than a pine tree spruce branch. So I'm talking so much because I'm delaying drawing this out. You kind of want to have the ends of your twigs ending in the general location that you think that your hearts are going to be. So if I have my branch kind of coming from here, and it's okay if you if you draw your pencil on mark a little bit darker, because we're painting brown over it, so it shouldn't show through. But I'm going to have one branch ending here, so heart is going to be hanging down like this. I'm going to have another one like this, so it's going to be hanging down like that. I might have kind of a separate branch going that way. And we'll have another branch coming off like this. We can add some more details later, but you just want the general location of your branch. So I am going to take my size 1 by Winsor & Newton here, and I'm going to create the brown that I want to use to paint my twig. So I'm mixing brown and I'm adding black to it because I do want it to cover the pencil, so it's going to be like a dark brown that we're creating. Someone mentioned that they want me to put my paint palette on the right side of the screen, I guess, so that I don't keep shielding the painting, but it's much easier for me to have the paint palette on the left side, so I'm going to keep it there. I hope it doesn't bother everybody, but so I'm taking that brown black mixture and I'm painting on my branch. You don't want it to be uber straight because branches aren't, I mean, no, I've seen some pretty straight branches. Like you wonder, how is that even possible? But typically branches are not very straight, so don't use a ruler. I'm going to make it thicker at the base here. Sort of like that. And I also have a branch. It's creeping in from this area over here at the top. Sort of like that. Now we can add more, you know, details a little bit later once we have our hearts down. So what we're going to do now is paint on the hearts where we have our, you know, pinkish areas. This kind of looks like a cherry blossom tree. Maybe I should do that next. That should be my next tutorial. Spoiler alert. But I am taking some red mixed with a tiny bit of pink maybe, or you can do both pink and red. Totally up to you. And I'm going to have little red hearts coming from my tree branches. So I am not a fan of painting hearts. They're harder to paint perfect than like just a sphere. And if you mess up, you kind of have to you have to go over the whole heart to fix your mistake. At least I do. And as a result, it makes it way bigger and then totally disproportionate to what you originally wanted. That's why I am switching to my size 1 just to do some details. That's a nice little heart. So I'm gonna have another little guy over here. Not so little, I guess. Certainly a little bit challenging. I'm gonna have another heart up here. And there's another one over here. I don't like how my heart looks on this side. Do you think I'm gonna regret fixing it because I'm gonna mess up? No, I got lucky. Okay. So that looks delicate and cute. You could add little guys elsewhere. I'm really tempted to, but my experience is when I add too many details, I just really ruin the painting for myself. But I'm gonna try. So these can be attached, but they don't have to. Like I am gonna have a couple little floating hearts. They could be a different color too, if you want. I have another little guy over here. Maybe one over here. Okay, so now we have to attach these hearts, and typically I would say, oh, just, draw a little black line with, or paint a black line with black watercolor. But because there's so many, I think I might just use a black fine tip marker. It will make it a lot easier. But I guess it's up to your own risk here. So I'm just starting from the center, like the top center part of my heart, and going upwards, and they're gonna hang like that. And I am going over a part of the branch because I want it to look like it's tied over the branch as well. So I'm just gonna have those 4 main ones hanging. The other ones can be floating around. And what I want to do is just make the hearts a little bit more interesting. So I want to add a little bit of shading to them. But I recognize now that I'm going to have to kind of redo the whole heart, or rather go over the whole heart, in order for that shading to look natural, like that. So now we can go back and add some more details to the branch itself. So you can have a lot more little sub branches, I guess you could call them, sticking out. So I'm just kind of remaking my little black brown preparation. I'm gonna use a larger brush here, otherwise this is gonna take an eternity. Okay. So yeah, I'm using my quadruple 0, and I'm gonna have as many tiny little branches sticking out as I think looks appropriate and not overdoing it. Because the difference between this painting and the one that I did for a Christmas card is that that one, the branch itself had pine needles on it because it was a pine branch. And so you had the contrast of the beautiful green from the pine needles with the color of the ornament, which I don't remember what color it was, but point is there was that really nice contrast in detail, like the very sharp bristles against needles against the smooth ornament. It looked very nice. Whereas this is it's very bare. So that's why I'm trying to add these fine details in the branch area to make it look a little bit more detailed and like there's more to look at than just these little hearts hanging everywhere. So that already looks a lot better to me. I don't know how it looks to you. So it is currently the 1st or the 2nd week of January that I'm filming this. And I gave myself an extremely ambitious goal this year to pre-paint all 104 videos for this year before August, I think, or before July, which is going to be, I don't know why I did that, but I mean, I know why I did it. There's reasons why I want to have everything prepared and pre-painted, but I don't know if that's going to be feasible, possible, especially when I also have so many other goals, both artistic and non-artistic, that I want to accomplish. That's why I just want to get, this out of the way. I want to get the painting done, meet my painting goals early on so I could focus on all the other things when I need to, like when gardening season starts and I have to pour all my time into that. I want the time for that. I don't want to feel guilty inside. That's what I did last year. I don't know if you recall me saying that, but I exactly did that last year where I finished, I pre-painted all my videos for the summer by I think April. So I had everything, I had 6 months worth of content pre-filmed by April, and that was amazing because then I went all summer without painting and I didn't feel guilty about it at all, and a lot of people didn't even notice, which is great. Okay, so that looks a lot better to me. Like there's a lot more detail, all is well. The last thing you can do is add a holiday greeting here. So happy Valentine's Day, I love you. You can even use one of these hearts as the I heart you. That would be pretty cool if you made this one a lot bigger hanging down and then wrote I heart you. That's an idea for you. But that is basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I will see you in the next one.